The Penn ESPN Award is the result of an exciting new collaboration with ESPN, and all of us at Penn would like to thank ESPN for its support. Now, Robert Lipsyte is here to announce the winner and the finalists.
Well, it took this amazing unholy alliance between two of the great worldwide empires, Penn and ESPN, to affirm that sports writing is writing. As a sports writer, I am grateful and delighted as a judge, however, and I'm speaking for my colleagues Tim O'Brien and Susan Orlean, both happily traveling for books right now. The selection process was daunting, which was why we petitioned the worldwide empires to let us choose 3 runner-ups instead of 2. We needed that final 4. They were all of championship caliber, all fierce contenders in our discussions. 2 of our finalists are here. Richard Hoffer, author of Something in the Air, American Passion and Defiance in the 1968 Mexico Olympics, alas, is not. But I would ask Warren St. John, author of Outlaws United, A Refugee Team, An American Town, and Will Haygood, author of Sweet Thunder, The Life and Times of Sugar Ray Robinson, please to stand. Our winning book, A Terrible Splendor by Marshall John Fisher, had, as its subtitle promised, 3 extraordinary men, a world poised for war, and the greatest tennis match ever played. Not all books fulfill their subtitles so splendidly. Under the looming calamity of World War II, Mr. Fisher weaves his remarkable tale of complex men, 2 of whom are living secret lives. And he creates not only a breathtaking read, but a terribly high standard of literary sports writing. It's going to be tough next year, and it's a great start. Thank you, ESPN, for making this possible, and thank you, Marshall John Fisher. The baton.
Thank you very much, Bob. Like a lot of writers, I spend much of my time not writing, but grumbling about what bad luck I've had throughout my career. But I have to admit, I hope I'm not the only one, I have to admit on the day I learned that Penn and ESPN were collaborating to create a new award for literary sports writing and doing it in a rush just in time for the books published in 2009, I really had no cause to grumble that day. I felt it might be a stroke of luck. And now that I have won, I am feeling very fortunate, even though I won't be able to grumble much, at least for the next couple weeks or so. Aside from the chance of winning the award, I really wanted to be entered because of who the judges were. Bob Lipsyte, who's here, and Susan Orlean, and Tim O'Brien, whose work I've admired so much. I just thought it would be really great to have these 3 people reading my book. And the fact that they've actually chosen it as the winner is really very gratifying, and I'm grateful to them, all 3 of them. And I'd also like to thank my agent, Albert Lafarge, without whom I think this book probably wouldn't have been written. About 5 years ago, I was casting out ideas for possible books, and although I loved this idea, I wasn't really sure how sellable it was. But Albert, who is a lover of literature and tennis in equal parts, jumped right on it and encouraged me to write my proposal, and everything just fell in place after that, so I'm grateful to him. Despite having refused to go to law school many years ago, my parents have still always offered me their unmitigated support and encouragement. And although they couldn't be here tonight, I'm sure they'll be listening to the podcast when it's out. So thank you, Mom and Dad. And finally, I have to thank, as I did in my book, that other great lover of literature and tennis, and that's my wife, Melita, who is here. And coming down to the city this week for this event was an unexpected and a wonderful way for us to celebrate our 15th anniversary. So thank you again for this.